She brings another guy and another girl upstairs into the room while I'm in there.
That is true, Your Honor. I did let him come over just because he was drinking. He said he needs to sleep it off for a while. So I'm thinking he's gone. And so I did come with the guy and the girl to my house in my room.
I don't like condoms, so I don't use condoms.
Exactly.
I'm allergic to latex, so I can use non-latex condoms.
Why do people keep saying they're allergic to latex but not allergic
This
to
woman
sex?
tried-
You're right. If you allergic to latex, then you don't need to be having no
Listen, when he
sex.
first brought out the condom, I said, is it a no-latex condom? He told me, no, it's latex. I said, I can't use that. I said, we better off not.
This is wild, folks. Ms. England and Mr. Kaiser have been together for 6 years and share a 3-year-old son, but now he's denying their 6-month-old baby, Isaac. She's here to prove he's the dad, and things are about to get messy. Buckle up, this drama is just getting started.
You say that you and Mr. Kaiser have been together for 6 years, have a 3-year-old son together, but claim he's now denying your 6-month-old son, Isaac, and you're here to prove that he is the father. You acknowledge one child with Ms. England, but say Isaac is not yours. You say that during your separation from Ms. England, she slept with another man, and you are 100% sure he is the father.
Ms. England claims she turned Mr. Kaiser from ashy to classy and is furious he's denying the baby. Mr. Kaiser accuses her of moving in with another guy during a breakup and getting pregnant. Their arguments about Isaac's conception feel like a soap opera, but with extra yelling.
We've been through everything. I've supported him, I've took care of him, I've turned him into the man he is. You know, I took him from ashy to classy. He's not supportive at all of it, and he wants to say that it's not his.
I've always been classy.
Now, that can be debated.
Why? She knows why I denied the baby. She stayed gone for 3 months with this other man.
Did you move in with another man,
Yes,
Ms.
Your Honor.
England?
Yes, Your Honor, I did.
These two can't agree on dinner without it becoming a paternity battle. Ms. England says arguments always circle back to, that's not my baby. Mr. Kaiser admits it's hard to live with constant doubt, and their home sounds like it's held together with duct tape and drama.
If it doesn't get solved today, it's over. I can't do it anymore. Everything is an argument. If we're talking about what's for dinner, peanut butter and jelly, fries, burgers, everything is, that's not my baby.
A paternity question, it permeates every aspect of your life. Is it difficult for you to handle all of this, Mr. Kaiser?
Yes, ma'am.
The feeling of not
She don't
knowing?
understand what I'm going through, Your Honor.
Their relationship is crashing in slow motion, with both blaming each other. Ms. England says she sought comfort from another man after her sister's death. Mr. Kaiser accuses her of cheating, and the yelling overshadows their search for the truth about Isaac's dad.
But she was still pregnant by this other man the whole time we were together, Your Honor.
You're thinking the whole time, and she's pregnant by another man, or were you
Right.
thinking this could potentially be my child as well?
I didn't think it was my child, Your Honor. I always thought it was the other man's child. I can't take care of another man's baby, Your Honor. Especially the man she was cheating on me with.
I was not cheating. I never wanted
She
to
said, Your Honor, she said she wasn't cheating on me, right?
Things turn into a weird science debate. Ms. England insists Isaac's rare traits, like tongue tie and natal teeth, prove Mr. Kaiser is the dad. Mr. Kaiser questions if the other guy has those traits. It's a chaotic mix of biology and family drama.
That baby's also tongue-tied, genetic trait. That baby
Okay.
looks like our 3-year-old child.
She don't know if that guy's father
That's not
is
true,
tongue-tied or
'cause
not.
I-
What if the other guy didn't have it, but his daddy had it? You see what I'm saying, Your Honor?
His daddy did not have it. I
How does
reached
she
out
know that,
and
Your
asked
Honor?
questions.
How does she know that?
Because baby Isaac is tongue-tied.
A doctor explains that while traits like tongue tie and natal teeth can run in families, they're not definitive proof. The science is complex, leaving both sides unsatisfied. The stage is now set for the DNA test results.
Well, the research is all over the place when it comes to a tongue tie. There is no research that says 100% that if he has a tongue tie, his child will have a tongue tie. And it's all over the place, the definition of that. So any research that follows that is inconclusive. In my practice, I would say most of my parents report that there is tongue tie in the family.
The big reveal.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Kaiser, you are not the father.
Are you sure?
I'm sorry, Mr. Kaiser.
You sure?
are.
Wow, this is a mess already, and we're just getting started. Ms. Nesbitt sues Mr. Henderson to prove he's the dad of her 7-month-old daughter, Zion. Meanwhile, Mr. Henderson accuses her of cheating with the neighbor and admits he's only barely helped with the baby. Stick around, this wild ride is just getting started.
Ms. Nesbitt, you are suing to prove to Mr. Henderson that he is the father of your 7-month-old daughter, Zion. You say that when the results prove you right, you expect Mr. Henderson to step up. Mr. Henderson, you claim your case is simple. You say Ms. Nesbitt cheated on you with her neighbor during the window of conception, and he is Ziane's biological father.
Yes, Your Honor.
Here's where it gets even messier. Ms. Nesbitt says she told Mr. Henderson not to sign the birth certificate, but he sneaks off and signs it anyway. Now, they're arguing over who's more wrong while he admits regretting his decision. Trust me, this argument's about to hit a new level of ridiculous.
You know that's your child. You've been knowing from the beginning. You signed the birth certificate. You even snuck down the stairs and signed it without my permission. You know the baby yours.
Yes, I did.
I went downstairs to go get my birth certificate and his name was on there. I told him not to put his name on there because I had doubts from the beginning, but he snuck anyways and signed his name on there.
Oh, you had asked him previously not to sign it because you had doubts yourself.
Yes, Your Honor.
Drama overload. Mr. Henderson claims Ms. Nesbitt told him the baby might not be his, and she admits it was said in anger. It's a circus of trust issues and hurt feelings. But wait, Ms. Nesbitt is about to spill some serious tea that takes things up a notch.
Because she kept coming to me like, this not your baby, LaDon. Like one time
After Ziane was born?
Yes, I came in the house one night drunk. I don't know if she was mad at me or not. Probably could have said it out of spite because I came in late. But I come in, she get an argument. Oh, she's not yours. That's why she's not your baby.
Did you say that?
Yes, Your Honor. I did it out of angry. I was really angry
She
when
said
I
it
said
several times, Your Honor.
Did she just admit that? Yep, Ms. Nesbitt confesses to sleeping with her neighbor, Mr. Brown, after a fight with Mr. Henderson. The timing lines up way too well with her pregnancy. Buckle up because Mr. Brown is about to join this drama fest.
Well, me and Mr. Henderson, we got into an argument and it led in my apartment hallway and Mr. Brown seen, so he came to my door, he comforted me and it led off to him coming in, giving me a massage and led off to me. 2 weeks later, I ended up pregnant and I told Mr. Henderson.
Did she all say I had slept with Mr. Brown?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, she did?
She told me she used the condom, Your Honor.
Enter Mr. Brown, who's all, y'all dragged me into this? He admits to a one-night stand with Ms. Nesbitt, but denies being the dad, even flirting with her in court. His casual attitude feels like a comedy show, but things heat up when they debate the baby's looks.
I first met her, she had moved to my apartment building a couple doors down. I used to always flirt with her, to blink an eye at her, you know what I'm saying? Because she was a cute girl, you know?
But you did have a sexual encounter with her.
Yeah, one time.
It was just like birthday sex, that was about it.
It wasn't more that she used to always hit me up and text me and all that stuff. I used to text her different names, like
It was
this
just
Tracy,
one time.
Nancy.
Your Honor, she's telling me that it's been going on longer than that.
Now it's a not it game of fatherhood. Mr. Brown insists the baby doesn't look like him, even pulling out photos to prove his point. Meanwhile, Ms. Nesbitt and Mr. Henderson argue again, because why not? The DNA test results are the only thing that can settle this.
This is a picture of
me on the right and her on the left, yeah, it is. She look nothing like at all. Ear, look at her cheeks, nothing. Lips, nose.
You submit to the court that she doesn't look anything like you, in your opinion.
Nothing like me.
She asked you to take a test. Do you mind taking
Yeah,
a
and I used to
paternity
always
test?
tell her what I tell her. I don't mind.
Your Honor, that's not true. He called me and said that we should take a DNA test and I told him no. He said that's unfair.
Boom.
Mr. Henderson, you are her father.
Told you was her father from the beginning.
Ms. Common storms in, accusing Mr. Baker of denying their daughter Breeze and being a no-show dad. She's ready to drop DNA proof, while Mr. Baker claims he was dad of the year until he found out she cheated. Buckle up, this wild ride just started.
You claim the defendant has been denying your 2-year-old daughter Breeze and refuses to do anything for her. You are furious and testify that you are certain he is the father and plan to prove that today. Is Mr. Baker, you claim you were a loving father for the first year and a half of Breeze's life until 5 months ago when you appeared in couples court and learned Ms. Commons cheated.
Ms. Common says Mr. Baker ignores Brez, who loves rubbing faces and showing affection. She gets emotional as the audience claps like it's a concert. Just when it gets heartfelt, Mr. Baker swings back with more doubts.
His family even threw her baby shower. My family, we don't need to throw baby showers because my auntie, she like well off or whatever, so she buys my kids whatever we need. My thing is for me to come as a woman and tell you my flaws and then you take it and try to throw it against my child, it's not right. She don't deserve that. She did not ask to be here. She did not want to be your daughter. She did not want to be my daughter for that matter, so you shouldn't do that to her.
Mr. Baker claims Ms. Commons cheated nonstop and lied like it was her job. He says her confessions made him second-guess being the dad. Ms. Commons snaps back, saying he was fine with her pregnancy until she came clean.
First of all, I got doubts because everything that come out of her mouth a lie. Like all the stuff she did in the past, from cheating with multiple people, I could catch her like if her phone bing, she had it.
If my phone bing,
people
you
Daddy.
You just want it could be if my phone been, it could be Jesus Christ. He gonna think it's I'm sleeping with.
Oh my gosh!
Mr. Baker reveals catching Ms. Commons with 2 guys on back-to-back nights. She admits to oral activities, but denies cheating. The audience gasps as Judge Lake looks like she needs a coffee break.
2 separate guys on 2 different occasions. On 2 different days, though. It was a weekend, right? Basically, I'm gonna say this. One weekend, right, Friday, I'm going out, I go hang with the homies or whatever. She called me like around 5-something. Is you gonna come over tonight? I say no, cause I'm finna go to a party or whatever. Trying to test her and see how loyal she is. But this was at the time when I want to see whether I'm gonna wanna be with her or not. I see, can I trust?
Ms. Commons claims Breeze's asthma proves Mr. Baker is the dad since he has it too. Mr. Baker isn't buying it and brandishes his inhaler. The tension builds as his sister steps in with some spicy remarks.
When I talked to the doctor said that down the line, whooping cough can cause some form of asthma. He walks around with his asthma pump in his pocket. He pulls out the asthma pump. That's how I know for a fact that's his daughter. For a fact.
You think that because your daughter had the whooping cough, which could develop into asthma, and Mr. Baker has asthma, that proves that he's the biological father.
Exactly.
Mr. Baker's sister says Ms. Commons was with other guys when Breeze was conceived. Ms. Commons fires back, calling her salty and dramatic. The argument gets so fiery, it feels like a reality show.
But this baby,
I knew for a fact she was having sex with other guys.
During the time Breeze was conceived?
Absolutely. Yeah, because we would talk on the phone too, and she'd tell me like, I just left from my friend's house, this dude, and she'd tell me like, oh girl, his sex wasn't about nothing, like that type of stuff. So I knew for a fact that she was sleeping around.
You said that to your brother, you told him?
Yep, I told him.
The DNA results reveal
when it comes to 2-year-old Bree Baker, Mr. Baker, you are the father.
This kicks off with drama and comedy gold. Miss Davies reveals her 5-year relationship with Mr. Hunter ended over wild rumors, a canceled wedding, and doubts about their son, Jaden's paternity. Mr. Hunter claims he caught her in the act, setting the stage for pure chaos. Buckle up. This story is just getting started.
You say that after being with Mr. Hunter for 5 years, he's now given into lies and rumors about your past, scrapped your wedding plans, and is now denying your son, Jaden. You say you've never fully accepted that Jaden is your son because Ms. Davies has a questionable past. In fact, you say you believe you even caught her in the act of cheating on you.
Oh, the drama. Their love story began with sunshine, but ended in a storm of distrust. Ms. Davies found messages from other women on Mr. Hunter's phone, and in retaliation, she texted other men. Mr. Hunter found shady messages too, turning their relationship into a messy game of who cheats better. Stay tuned, it only gets wilder.
Well, Your Honor, we met like 5.5 years ago through a mutual friend. I would say that we were happy when we first got together, but then I started finding text messages, phone calls from other females. So at that point of the relationship, Your Honor, I no longer trusted him at all.
Well, I found messages in her phone too, same thing. So that's why I started doing the things I was doing.
This part is straight out of a soap opera. Miss Davies admits to a fling where protection wasn't always a priority, blaming Mr. Hunter's behavior. It's a tennis match of bad decisions, and the next serve is scorching hot. You won't believe what comes next.
After I seen the text messages, the females calling my phone, then I decided that, okay, two can play that game, and I decided to go out and talk to someone else. Well, once I did, I briefly had a relationship with a guy. We were sexually together a few times.
Did you use
Why
protection?
she with me?
A couple times we did not, Your Honor.
And now, the twist. Miss Davies confesses she wasn't sure if Mr. Hunter was Jaden's dad, but decided to roll with it anyway. Her honesty raises eyebrows, and you can't help but wonder what else she's hiding. Trust me, the surprises keep coming.
I said, yes, I'm sure this is your son.
How were you sure?
She wasn't.
I couldn't say I was 100% sure at the time, but I wanted Devon to be the father because he has been there in my life for, at this time, we've been together like 2.5 years.
So now we're getting honest now, and
Right.
that's what we're here to do. The truth is when you told him you wanted him to be,
Yes.
but you didn't know for certain.
Yes.
Here's where it gets jaw-dropping. Mr. Hunter recalls waking up to find Miss Davies hosting adult activities with others in her room. Her defense? She thought he had already left. If you think this is the peak of awkwardness, you're in for a shock.
I had been drinking, so I wanted to go lay down, right? I accidentally fall asleep longer than I'm supposed to, so she's thinking I'm gone. She brings another guy and another girl upstairs into the room while I'm in there.
That is true, Your Honor. I did let him come over just because he was drinking. He said he needs to sleep it off for a while. So I'm thinking he's gone. And so I did come with the guy and the girl to my house and my room.
Cue the tears and awkward confessions. Miss Davies cries as the judge reminds her she's admitted to most of the accusations. She tries to clear her name, but her evidence for Jaden's paternity is creative. Don't blink, the real truth is coming.
Why the tears?
Because this is hurtful to hear all these things he thought about me.
You can't be too hurt right now, 'cause it's not the first time. I caught her in the kitchen. We sitting in the living room one day, and then she gets up and walks to the kitchen, and she's in the kitchen for like maybe 10, 15 minutes. She's supposed to came back already. I walk around to the kitchen, and she's down there standing in between this guy's legs.
Here comes the hilarity. Miss Davies claims Jaden must be Mr. Hunter's because their feet point the same way. Yes, slew-footedness is her smoking gun. The judge struggles to keep a straight face as the drama barrels toward the truth.
Jaden and Mr. Hunter, they're both slew-footed, Your Honor. I don't know if you know what that means.
I do.
Which means that both of their feet goes out like this, and they stand just like that. He had to get that from Devon. Playing or trying to do something else. If it was another picture, when he stands, they stand just alike, Your Honor. Both of their feet are pointed outwards.
Boom! The DNA results drop.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Hunter, you are not father.
I told you.
Okay, imagine living your life one way, then boom, everything flips. Mr. Hudson thought he was the dad. He lived with Miss Bridges, went to appointments, cut the umbilical cord, and signed the birth certificate. Then Miss Bridges casually drops, "Oh, by the way, I slept with someone else," and chaos erupts. Things are about to get messier than a kindergarten art class.
Mr. Hudson, you claim the defendant led you to believe you were her son, Ja'Cory's biological father, then dropped a bomb and admitted she slept with someone else. You're in court to prove you are not her son's father. Ms. Bridges, you admit to sleeping with another man, but claim that you have no doubt Mr. Hudson is your child's biological father.
Yes, Your Honor.
Brace yourself. This part had everyone gasping. During an argument, Miss Bridges told Mr. Hudson he might not be the dad, but insisted he actually was. Despite doubts, Mr. Hudson stayed, throwing birthday parties and being a full-on dad. Then, out of nowhere, another guy appears claiming he might be the dad too.
It happened a little for his first birthday party. I invited everyone to come. She didn't even show to his first birthday party that I planned.
Because I was not gonna show because you had your ex-girlfriend there and I did not feel comfortable there being with her. So I had my own birthday party for him.
You say Ms. Bridges didn't even come?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did the baby come? Did he get to come?
Yes, Your Honor. I had him there myself.
Enter Mr. Davis saying, "Hey, I might be the dad." He revealed he and Miss Bridges hooked up around the time Jack was conceived and only found out about the baby through Facebook a year later. Miss Bridges asked him to take a DNA test, and now things are looking like a reality show cliffhanger.
For several reasons, me and Miss Bridges met. We hung out for a couple of months. We ended up having unprotected sex around about 3 times. I didn't know that she was pregnant. I looked on Facebook one day, like a year later, I see a picture of her son. And immediately, I think her son looks like my nephew. About a year after that, she came to me. She's like, "Oh, well, can you tell me the times that we had sex?" And I'm like, okay. So I gave her a ballpark or whatever.
Just when it seemed impossible to get more chaotic, Miss Bridges' aunt weighs in. Auntie DeWaragus, who's been raising Jack, thinks the kid looks like Mr. Davis, but admits no one knows for sure. Meanwhile, Jack has bonded with Mr. Hudson, turning this into an emotional roller coaster. And then the guys start sharing their stories, making it even more intense.
I've been helping Oteria raise Ja'Cory he's going on 4 years old. I have been in his life ever since. Mr. Davis has stepped up. He's constantly calling me, wanting to be in Ja'Cory's life. Ja'Cory has been ill, suffering with asthma. Mr. Davis did show up to the hospital. Yes, he showed up at the hospital.
This part hit everyone in the fields. Mr. Davis talks about missing 3 years of Jack's life, while Mr. Hudson shares how he's been pushed away. Both want to be there for Jack if they're the dad, and you're rooting for them both. Now it's time for the DNA results that will change everything.
I've missed 3 years of a child's life that could possibly be mine. Apologies can't take back 3 years of missed time.
I made mistakes and I learned from my mistakes. I was young back then.
So 2 men, both of whom want to be this child's father.
There would be no flack in between if I was allowed to. You have an opportunity. You don't know if he's yours or not, but you've been there already. Why just walk away from him?
Mr. Hudson, you are not his father.
Get ready, because this story starts with a bang. Miss Herman says Mr. Houston is Corey's dad, accusing him of living a double life. Mr. Houston denies it and says a DNA test will prove it's not true. Drama level high.
Miss Herman, you are here to prove that Mr. Houston is the biological father of your 2-year-old son, Corey. You contend the defendant duped you and was living a double life. Mr. Houston, you claim that you are not the biological father of Miss Herman's son and will clear your name when the results are read.
Miss Herman turns into a Facebook detective and finds out Mr. Houston has a whole family. She sees photos of him rocking a wedding ring while ghosting her during pregnancy. Let's just say Facebook doesn't miss when it comes to secrets.
I like to call this the investigadget stage. That's what I do. When my woman intuition hits, that's what I do. I investigate. So during the time I was pregnant, I had told Mr. Houston that I was pregnant. He said that he would be there for me and my child. After 2 doctor's appointments, he stopped showing up. So I got a little suspicious. So I got my investigation glasses on, and I found out via Facebook that he has a wife and children.
Mr. Houston's excuses are as weak as the dog ate my homework. He says his marriage isn't Miss Herman's business, even though they met at a club, hit it off over patron shots, and hooked up that night. Spoiler, no raincoat involved.
Anything I got going on before I met her wasn't her business. You see what I'm saying? I wasn't curious about the extra stuff. I was more curious about getting to know who she was.
So your marriage and your kids and your wife were all extra things?
No, it wasn't extra at all. It was just something that, I didn't communicate with her. I wasn't trying to go in a direction of being with her or...
At 2 a.m., Mr. Houston sneaks out to meet Miss Herman, who's rocking silky outfits and candles. He's basically describing a rom-com setting, except his wife's at home asleep. This is a double life disaster waiting to implode.
The night before I actually even thought that she was pregnant, I went to stay the night with her because, at this time, my kids were asleep, my wife was asleep too, all right? I was up. She answered the phone at 2 a.m. like I expected. She was ready. I wound up leaving, going over there in my car. I went to her house. She always got it laid out. She would have candles here, candles there. She would have it smelling good. And she always didn't have no clothes on. They hang tight on her butt.
Mrs. Houston drops the ultimate bombshell. She finds out about Miss Herman through a wild text. She even calls Miss Herman to confirm, and it's chaos. Imagine being pregnant and finding out your husband's baby drama this way.
The way I discovered, they were doing whatever was a message came in his phone. When I have the baby, I want to move in with you. I'm looking like, who the hell is this? And what is she talking about? And I'm like, so somebody is pregnant by you? I'm trying to get answers. Eventually, I end up calling the number and I talked to her.
Oh, you did? You had a conversation?
Yeah.
This argument is straight up ridiculous. Miss Herman says no condom was used, but Mr. Houston claims he's allergic to latex. It's like kids arguing over cookies, except the judge looks ready to ground everyone.
I don't like condoms, so I don't use condoms.
Exactly.
I'm allergic to latex, so I can use non-latex condoms.
Why do people keep saying they're allergic to latex but not allergic to sex? You're right. If you allergic to latex, then you don't need to be having no sex.
When he first brought out the condom, I said, is it a no-latex condom? He told me, no, it's latex. I said, I can't use that. I said, we better off not going to get a no-latex condom. I'll just do it anyway, but it wasn't your intent to get me pregnant.
Miss Herman says she's raising Corey alone, while Mr. Houston brags about buying baby booties. The judge isn't impressed, and neither is anyone else. It's clear this parenting situation is a hot mess.
He doesn't do anything for Corey at all.
This woman's full of lies today. I don't know why.
Can you show you a receipt?
I made sure that I had his first pair of shoes. I got him some booties. I did everything that I was supposed to do as far as making sure he had car seats.
I'm not, because he came to the baby shower and he dropped off 1 pack of diapers.
That's not true. I didn't even go to the baby shower. See?
I can't build a family with somebody that's already got a family.
The DNA test shows.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Houston, you are not the father.
Yes. Thank you, Jesus.